Let me tell you an analogy. If you've got a fire, imagine this fire, and you've got a fire. Everyone's seen fire, everyone knows how fire works. Now, if you have a fire and you start chucking in some plastic, how are you going to expect it to work? Everyone knows, what do you feed a fire? You need the right fuel. Put in some wood, combustibles, You need oxygen so that the fire can actually mix with the fuel, because it needs an oxidant. And finally, heat to actually start the production of this, because if you don't have the heat, then there's no fire. You can have the fuel and the oxygen, but there's no fire. Now, think about this. You are a fire. Your body is a fire. And what you're feeding your body is determining how strong your fire is. How strong you are mentally and physically. If you're feeding yourself Cocoa Pops, cereal, or not getting the necessary requirements, I'll explain it to you in a brief overview, and I'm going to go into more detail for the people who want it. Fire needs 3 things: fuel, oxygen, and heat. Fuel, very simple. The fuel you need is the food you eat. If you're eating bad food, you're going to have bad energy. Right? If you're eating good food, you're going to have a good energy. Now, the second thing, oxygen, is the sleep you get. Because you can have all the fuel in the world, you need the oxygen to actually help use it. When you eat the food, you don't just eat the food and grow naturally. Everyone knows you grow with sleep. Your body heals with sleep. Your body grows with sleep. Your sleep is what your body uses as the fire to actually use the fuel which you've given it. Now, the final thing is heat. This is the energy you need. This is the energy which you use for your productivity and your focus. This is the energy which you get from this fuel, you get from the fire, you get from your sleep. And how you spend it is going to determine your productivity and your ability to focus. First thing we're going to talk about is your fuel. Think about this. This is like a rough estimate, like an average. Every 7 years, your body replaces itself. The cells, they're completely different than the ones you had 7 years ago. Now, think, what have you eaten in the past 7 years? Your body, if you haven't been on self-improvement that long, if you haven't been eating healthy for that long, your body right now is literally not even made of proteins, natural meats, or nutrients. Your body's made out of like Coca-Cola, cereal, like toast. That is what your body is made out of. You're eating these foods and that is what your body's made out of. This is one of the easiest ways to stop eating food that isn't good for you, is to think, if I eat this food is gonna be me. This food is gonna make my cells. If you're eating a steak, that steak has got the proteins, it's got the nutrients, and it's got the fats which you need to make more cells and be healthy. If you're eating a cookie, what is that cookie gonna turn into? What do you think? Do you think you're gonna be more productive having a body made of steaks or a body made of cookies? Just think. And that's being generous. 7 years isn't actually your entire body, because some parts of your body replace even faster than that, but some even slower. Think about your bones and your heart. They take longer, and if you want to be athletic, you want to be healthy, your bones and your heart, that's what's keeping you healthy. Alright, so the longer time you have eating good food, which is just good for you and your body, just, proteins, actual proteins, animal proteins from eggs, meat, not plants. Like, if plants were meant the same protein that you have in your arms, in your face, everywhere, then why are they green? Like, they have different cell structures entirely to what we have. The protein is different. Now, the next thing is the oxygen. Now, oxygen is very simple. You need lots and lots of sleep. You need to get good sleep. Good sleep has countless benefits. It can increase your focus, your productivity, you're less tired, you have more energy during the day, which we'll talk about later, and you grow more, and your body is healthier. If you don't get enough sleep, you're going to be sicker, alright? So you're going to have a worse off body. Your body's going to, during the day when you're working or whatever, it's going to be spending energy to fight like bugs or diseases or rubbish, that you're eating. Like, say you get some cold. If you get someone who sleeps 8 hours every day, they're going to be better off than someone who sleeps 2 hours every day, or someone who sleeps 8 hours but it's not that good, or 8 hours of good uninterrupted sleep. Now, another thing that you need to use as the oxygen in order to actually put the fuel into action is the right mindset. If you have the mindset that you can't do it, you can't be productive, you can't focus, and you're not going to get anywhere in life, and you can't achieve anything, then guess what's going to happen? You're not going to achieve anything, you're not going to be productive, and you're not going to focus. You need to have the right mindset. You need to have the I can do this mindset. I don't care if you're one of them people who thinks, oh, this guy's like, sounds like my mum. Like, oh, you can do it. Like, yeah, people say that maybe aren't the best people to follow, but just because someone says it doesn't mean it's wrong. Alright, maybe if they say it in a different context. Now, the third thing which you're going to want is heat. This is the energy inside of you. Now, with guys, this is a lot easier to, this is like a life hack for guys, for most guys out there, to get their energy levels up, their focus up, and productivity up, is semen retention. Alright, think about this. If you're working, this is a competition, there's 2 guys working. One of them nuts. Alright. So first of all, we spent the time nutting, which this guy's been working. Alright, he's ahead. But let's say that doesn't count. Alright, they're still equal after that. His body has just shot out, like literally. It's like you got some of your nutrients, protein, just ripped out a chunk of your arm and just chucked it out. You don't have that anymore. You can't utilize it. Your body has to take energy to replace it. So your body is taking your nutrients and your energy to replace it, like zinc and phosphorus. Phosphor, maybe, I'm not sure, but something like that. And all of these nutrients and minerals which you need, and proteins which you're going to be using to replace this, and the energy your body's going to be using to replace these cells which you just gotten out of yourself. First of all, that's the first level. Alright, now that guy's ahead of you. The second thing is the sexual energy. This is like the more spiritual, but if you don't want to be advanced, you can click off the video. The people who win are the people who are more in touch with themselves. Now, I'm not saying believe me mindlessly, because that's never the right thing to do. I'm saying just because someone else told you that spirituality or something isn't the right thing, or energies don't exist. This is my favourite saying. The only science you should trust is your own science. If it doesn't hurt to try it out, try it out. If you can try it out, try it out. If you can put some practice, even though it sounds crazy, if it might help you, try it out, test it for a bit, do your own science, see if it works. And if it does work, then you're better off, and if it doesn't, then you can just stop and you're fine. It's not a problem, it doesn't harm you. And from that you actually learn. But let's not get distracted. The energy which you're using there, like your mind, is going to be focusing on your energy, and your brain subconsciously is going to ramp up its productiveness and workness because you're not mating, right? This is the primal instinct. If you're not having sex, your body is going to try to find a way to elevate your productivity. It's going to elevate your focus because you need to work, you need to hunt. All right, this is what it was back in the days. You need to hunt, you need to go work, but now you're hunting in the job, in the business, you're hunting for clients or something. So it's different, but however it's the same basic aspects of no sex equals more work to get sex. That is the basic function of men. And although it is more visible, like the changes in men, like women can also benefit from this. Like if you're always out here like using your energy, wasting it away, you're going to be less focused. So that's the other thing, semen retention. Using your other energies from other things, the energy you use to digest food. I'm sure this is an advanced video, this is what I titled it as. So I'm expecting some people, or at least most people, to really notice, the times you eat food. If you can eat food like once, twice a day, you're better off. Preferably before night. Eat the most of your food before night, once you've done your work, and digest it through the night. Because if you have a light dinner or something and have a massive breakfast, what's going to happen is you're going to be digesting, your body's using the energy, the fuel and the oxygen and the heat you've put in to your body. It's going to be using it in your gut to digest the food. Alright, so if you eat a lot before you sleep, you wake up and you don't have to use that energy to digest or to like process that food. So fasting for however long you want, but when you're working during a fast, you're going to be more productive than if you've just had a fat meal, right? Everyone, if you have carbs especially, everyone knows, you eat a bunch of carbs, you have a carb crash or something. Same if you eat enough of anything. If you eat enough of anything, you're subconsciously telling your brain that you don't need to work because you don't need to hunt, because you just finished the hunt, you just got the food. So bear that in mind. And anyways, if you find this content helpful, I've got other videos on my channel which you might enjoy, might be helpful to you, so check them out always. Cheers.